What is the scariest thing that has happened to you that no one would believe? It was late at night, and I was walking home after classes, having missed the last bus. With no other choice, I had to make my way back on foot. The streets were eerily silent. Walking alone at night can be unsettling. As I continued down the sidewalk, a particular house caught my eye. It stood out, not because of its size or design, but because it was brightly lit despite being vacant for years. I had passed by it before, always abandoned, dark and lifeless. My curiosity got the better of me. I hesitated for a moment before creeping down the concrete path toward the door. I reached out, and as soon as my fingers touched the doorknob, it creaked loudly as if it hadn't been opened in years. Slowly, I pushed it open. The air inside was stale. The interior was nothing like I expected. It seemed like an endless maze of rooms stretching into the darkness. I stepped inside cautiously. My eyes scanned the space, unsure where to begin. The closest door was slightly ajar. Rust coated its hinges, and as I pushed it open further, the sound echoed through the house. A shiver ran down my spine. Wait, was someone in there? A sudden chill filled the air. Before I could react, cold, invisible hands gripped my shoulders and shoved me forward. I lost my balance, hitting the floor hard. The door slammed shut behind me, plunging the room into darkness. My breath quickened. The silence was deafening, broken only by the sound of my own racing heart. I tried to push myself up, but something pressed against me, pinning me down. I opened my mouth to scream, but no sound came out. Struggling, I finally managed to stand and fumbled at the door handle, but it wouldn't budge. The room felt heavy, like it was filled with something unseen, something watching. Swallowing my fear, I whispered, "Hello?" My voice barely broke the silence, only to be thrown back at me in a distorted echo. Then I heard it. A screeching, inhuman wail. My blood ran cold as I turned. A figure stood behind me. Its glowing red eyes bored into mine. I gasped as it moved closer, and the stench of raw meat and blood hit me like a wave. My body refused to move. My legs felt like they were sinking into the floor. Then it reached for me. Its ice-cold hands wrapped around my arms, then my throat. The grip tightened. I gasped, but no air came. My chest burnt. My vision blurred. I clawed at the invisible force, desperate for breath. My strength faded as the darkness swallowed me whole. I must have fainted from all that exhaustion because the next thing I remember, I was waking up outside. Gasping for air, I found myself sprawled on the sidewalk in front of the house. My limbs trembled as I scrambled to my feet and ran, my mind unable to process what had happened. I ran all the way home, and I don't know how, but I got home. No one would believe me, so this remains with you and me. To this day, I have no idea how I escaped. But I do know one thing. Never go near house number 1 on Headless Drive.